for that matter, who's a senior, maybe feeling like, okay, my window of opportunity is now, and it's it. And maybe that puts somewhat the pressure on. 8 seconds left of the opening period, and it's 2-0. Dustin Ziegler and Justin Nessa, the freshman out of Reynolds, will go from the down position. You can bet Ziegler are going to let him do anything, trying to get up there in 1-point escape and rides out the period.
Red.
In last year's state championships, Ziegler beat Howard Cressley from Brandywine Heights, District 3, 6-3 at 125 pounds in the opening round. Those two met again this year in the semifinals. Ziegler won that bout 6-4 in overtime.
Ziegler, you talk about an upper body. I mean, he is built like a defensive end in football. There's a 1-point escape now for Justin Nestor, the freshman out of Reynolds. They are District 10. He's 33-6. Again, a runner-up in the Northwest region.
Last champions for Reynolds High School is Casey Taylor. He won in 1993, 94, and 95. Also, Jonathan Hazai won it back in 1993 and 94 as well.
Two to one, still the score. Dustin Ziegler by 1. There's your time remaining here in the middle period. Championship at 130 in this parade of champions in AA. I'll tell you, Ziegler is sculpted, that upper body right there. I mean, he is what you would say, Jim, the buzzsaw. One of them anyway in this AA half of the draw. Gets to the out-of-bound line. They'll go from the neutral position now. Time remaining in the second period, Jim.
Ziegler lost his Southwestern Regional semifinal match to Luke Taylor from Southmoreland, District 7. They score a 4-3. He placed third in that regional tournament, and that brought him to Hershey.
Barely got in. But as you and I know from years gone by, reputation means absolutely nothing here. It's a fresh start for many. Final seconds here in the second period. 2-1. Dustin Ziegler from Bedford holding the lead. And wave off points as they count out the period. Some of the fans getting a little anxious, felt a scoring move coming and did not materialize as we go to the third period. Mark Shuey.
Justin Nestor of Reynolds wrestling here in the state finals at Hershey as a freshman. Not too many kids ever get the opportunity to wrestle for 4 state championships. Only 9 people have ever won 4 titles. The last one, Jeremy Hunter of McGuffey, won it in 93, 94, 95, and 96.
Aaron Ty Moore and some of those others, Bob Crawford of Milton. You become somewhat of a legend, I think, if you can run the table 4 consecutive years here. Kerry Colott, I think he was 137-0 in his career.
Unbelievable.
Boy, did he light this joint up back in the late 80s when he came out of Jefferson Morgan. Wrestler of the tournament in AA. He's at Lock Haven now after starting his career at Penn State. Right now, third period. You got a 2-1 game right here with Dustin Ziegler by 1. And the freshman, Justin Nestor, working from the top. Ziegler on the bottom. I'll tell you, Nestor has really wrestled a nice match. I mean, he is on the brink. He's only down 1.
Only a 9th grader in the finals. And Ziegler's been warned for stalling now.
Legs up. Screens up. Legs have been warned. So,
the warning there, so that would be a point if they go that way again, right?
Yep. First warning is just that, a warning. The second warning is a point. Another warning is another point. Another warning is 2 points. And another warning and you're disqualified.
Well, 57 seconds to go. It's a 1-run game down the stretch here in the third period. 2-1 the score. Dustin Ziegler out of Bedford. He's on the bottom right there, trying desperately to work out of it. It's a amazing how deep you go inside your psyche right now.
Ziegler's going to get called for stalling again. That's 1 point. That'll tie the match.
Ziegler trying to get a point on and holding on for dear life as Nestor to the leg. Final seconds.
Just hanging on by the ankle.
Crowd really coming to life now. Final seconds. Crossover move that time for Ziegler. Counting it out. Tied at 2. Still not ringing up points yet. Referee right there. Championship at 130 pounds. Overtime.
Go.
No change.
Let's go.
That's as close as it gets, Jed.
The freshman with a chance at gold and got the 1 point he needed to buy time.
Give Nestor credit. He's back in the middle. He's ready for action.
Okay,
He's not going to give
Regiment
up
one.
on
Let's
this thing yet.
To me, he's got the momentum here. It's a matter of how the experience against the senior goes. Nestor going under. First one to score wins it. There's your time in overtime.
And, Jed, that would include a stall warning, another stall warning on Ziegler. That'll give Nestor another point, and that'll be the end of the match.
And that carries over. Out of bounds. Go
Go,
back to
guys.
the center circle.
Let's move.
Time and overtime. Crowd hopping on this freshman a little bit. Nestor's got a leg in.
He's got it in deep.
Benson holding on for dear life right now. Trying to flip him over. Still nothing there. Got him. 2 points. That'll do it. There's a bit of an upset there. Justin Nestor, the freshman out of Reynolds, lights up the crowd. That was a heck of a match. Definitely see that again. There's the coach, Brian Hills, came flying off the bench. And a heartbreak for Dustin Ziegler. 4-2 in overtime. There's the move right here, Jim. One move's all it takes.
He's in there deep on the single leg. He basically pushed into Ziegler, pushed him over, had plenty of room in the out of bounds, and that's it. 2 point takedown.
Oh, catch our breath here. When we go to the medals table, find out what's going on over there at 125 pounds. Tom Waldron was the champion there. A score of 10-5. He's the man standing tallest right there. The runner-up to the right of your screen, Dave Patrick. He's only a sophomore. We'll see him again. He's got a bright future, but he ran into a lot of experience in Tom Waldron. Defending state champ at 119, goes up to 125 and strikes gold again.
I mentioned that Tom Waldron had a couple of tough matches, and he wasn't looking sharp. Well, he proved me wrong in the finals. He looked awesome and unbeatable with a 10-5 win over Dave Patrick from Wyalusing.
Winner by decision, score 10-5 from Littleston, winning his second state championship, Tom Waldron.
Go to 135 pounds. Justin Alano out of Tri-Valley, District 11. He's a junior. He's 34-5. Corey Tobias out of Northern Lehigh. Todd Herzog, his coach, 38-0. He's 132-10. He's a senior out of District 11.
Alano has the red anklet on in the black uniform. Tobias, green anklet in the blue uniform.
Championship at 135. Boy, guy 132-10. He's been in a lot of places. I mean, that's a guy that likes action, I think.
Oh, yeah.
130 wins.
Center guys. One of the things to notice about Alano is he is short and stocky. He had a lot of trouble against Eric Michajcek from Lake Lehman in the semifinals. Michajcek was quite tall. Alano finally got him up, got him over, and actually pinned him in 5 minutes and 22 seconds to make it into the finals. But he really struggled against that height disadvantage.
Opening period in the championship at 135 pounds.
Work out of there. Tobias, of course, is a defending champion from, the runner-up from 135 pounds a year ago.
My mistake, Tri-Valley has the red anklet on. Tri-Valley has the red anklet.
Lost last year's finals 3-1 in overtime to Gabe Webster from Sarah, District 11. And that was his only loss last year.
It's a tough place to get pinned with your only defeat. Final minute here in the opening period at 1:35. Play still buzzing over that match at 1:30. Two-point takedown right there for Justin Alano out of Tri-Valley. That was Tobias, rather. It's 4-1.
Tobias came to the tournament as the Southeastern Regional Champion. Alano qualified for the Hershey tournament as the Southeastern Regional runner-up. When these two met in the finals of that regional tournament, Tobias pinned Alano in 5 minutes and 51 seconds.
Bit of irony, each with dogs, but different logos for it.
Yeah, exactly. Set on bottom, pop.
Well, the old Jim Croce song, Junkyard Dogs, I think that would describe how tough these guys are. I mean, to get here that far at 135 pounds, and the first period times itself out. 4-1
Green
is
choice.
the score. Justin
Green
Alano
first.
in control.
Great choice.
Out of Tri-Valley.
Corey Tobias competed at 140 pounds most of the year, dropped down at the end of the year for the tournament season.
One neutral.
And Jeff, we mentioned that these two wrestlers have wrestled before, and that Alano was pinned by Tobias in that Southeastern Regional tournament. I think when wrestlers wrestle each other time after time, I think it definitely favors the gentleman that lost the match. He can learn much more easily what he did wrong than what it would be to try to do what the other guy did right again.
I tend to agree with you, Jim. I mean, it's the old adage. It's tough to beat any team 3 times in 1 year. I mean,
Work out of there.
That's a nice dump. That move is a dump by Tobias.
he is a solid technician out there, isn't he? I mean, he does not have many flaws and walks through just about any opening you want to leave him. He's in control. There's your score.
One red, neutral.
You get any point you can get your hands on this time of the year. This time of the day at 135 pounds, 6-3. Corey Tobias in control. Time remaining in the second period.
Tobias in on a single leg. He's taking Alano down easily now. He's got all the momentum in the world.
He seems quicker to the draw, at least so far.
Yeah, he's definitely superior on his feet so far. One of the problems with the take him down, let him up routine is that each time you do that, you're only up by 1, and you get taken down, it narrows a gap quite a bit in a hurry.
Alano had a narrow escape early, 3-2 against James Phipps of Lampeter Strasburg in District 3. But since then has turned up the volume and got in the semifinals and took out Eric Mazak at a fall of 5:22. There's the count out of the second period.
Green takes neutral.
8-3 the score.
Step in, gentlemen.
Tobias confident enough on his feet. Confident in his superiority, he picks the standing neutral position in third.
Tobias in command right now by 5 as we count out the final period here at 135.
Work out, work out.
You don't have to look very far to find a heavyweight in years gone by from Tri-Valley. The state champion at heavyweight in last year's finals was Ryan Keeler from Tri-Valley.
So Justin Alano right now. Time to get busy. You see him. He's to the right of your screen in the black singlet. Out of Northern Lehigh. District 11, they love their District 11 wrestling. In District 11, they love their wrestling. I mean, one of the storied areas in Pennsylvania.
Still up.
Wrestling's front page news most of the time in the month of March up in District 11, the Allentown, Lehigh Valley area, Easton. Goes on and on. Some of the greats that have come out of the state, out of that area. There's your time remaining in the match at a championship at 135. Let's go to Mark Shuey. Mark?
Well, down here along Matt's side, Corey Tobias looks very, very strong. Looks like he's got a lot of wind left here in the third period. He looked very strong in his previous matches here in the state tournament, winning convincingly 11-4 and 10-5. So Tobias in control here, leading 8-3.
Alano struggled in his quarterfinal match against Josh Wine from Chestnut Ridge, District 5. He was losing that bout, and he had got a takedown with 10 seconds left to win the match 6-3.
130-pound plate players and coaches making their way to the
Time remaining in this third period.
It'll work.
Corey Tobias has been in control of this from start to finish.
Back there.
8-3, just 20 seconds remaining.
Tobias again confident on his feet. He really has not been in any trouble at all. Alano really has just not mounted a serious offense at all.
And that'll do it. Corey Tobias most impressive with the 8-3 victory over Justin Alano. He improves to 39-0. Alano with the loss to 34-5. He'll get silver. Again, no losers whenever you make it this far into the draw at the PIAA State Wrestling Championships. He was superior on his feet. He just had so much gas in his tank down the stretch. He was really impressive.
He really was. You know, you can't argue with a 39-0 record, that's for sure, and just a little bit too much for Justin Alano from Tri-Valley.
There's your medal winners at 130. Justin Nestor standing tall. I hope we can get a shot of this with one of our up cameras. It's like a paparazzi around the young freshman from Reynolds High School. Beats out Dustin Ziegler in just a great matchup so far.
You got to hand it to Justin Nestor, only a 9th grader.
Look at that. Everybody in the class is taking a shot of that young man.
He's not old enough to drive a car, but he can win a gold medal here at Hershey.
He's got a lot of classmates who they allowed onto the arena floor to be able to take pictures. A very special moment for a freshman. And there's a young man right there with a chance of 4. You got to win first. So he'll be a 100-man. His target will be much more fluorescent next season.
Definitely.
At 140 pounds, Tom McMath, he's out of District 10. He's a senior with Sharpsville High School. 25-3 overall. Jacob Stork, District 3, out of Schuylkill Valley. He's a senior, 34-3.
Jake Stork wearing the red anklet, black uniform. Tom McMath, of course, in the blue uniform with the green anklet.
Tom McMath, a football player for Sharpsville. We'll have Mark Shuey detail his story here for you. A lineman. You'll see some of that mentality, I think, come out here. At 140 pounds. Last year, Joe Henson from Hanover in District 3 ended up winning that. Now, McMath went overtime in the quarters to get past Justin Johnson.
Stork in on a nice takedown. He's got 2 points. Stork also went into overtime in his semifinal bout against Joe Charlton from Fort LeBoeuf, District 10. 7-2 in overtime to make it into the finals.
Set green, hold, red man, optional start, bottom man, optional start.
Tom McMath will come from the bottom right now. Again, a senior. Sharpsville's outstanding in football, and this young man was one of the big reasons why. The man in the blue singlet there. Mark Sharpsville was gnarly in Altoona in the month of December, and here's an individual accolade for Tom McMath.
That's right. Tom McMath, even though he's at 140 pounds, he manned the defensive and offensive lines. Also played a little bit of linebacker for a very good Sharpsville team, but he's got his hands full right now. He's trailing 2-1 in the PIAA State Championship at 140 pounds. Got 2 veteran wrestlers here going against one another. Both have piled up more than 100 victories apiece in their careers.
Mark mentioned that these guys are veterans, and in fact, Jake Stork wrestled at 119 pounds last year. He placed 5th in the state. Tom McMath wrestled at 125 pounds. He took 3rd Another takedown by Stork.
He is a point machine, isn't he? He's up 4-1, counting out the opening period here in the championship at 140 pounds.
And Stork has really jumped a couple of weights. He's up 4 weight classes from last year's championships.
Each of these young men, they're sectional champs. And form held at least at 140. Come to the end of the period. It's 4-1 with Jake Stork of Schuylkill Valley.
Bottom neutral red will defer. Green. Green chooses the bottom.
Tom McMath, I want to get on the bottom. I want to get some points going here. Get back in this thing.
Hold your position.
Last year's championships, Tom McMath entered the tournament as a Northwestern regional champion at 125 pounds. He lost in the quarterfinals to the eventual champ Rob English from West Branch, District 6, 9-4. But as I mentioned, he still placed third at 125 pounds.
Still red in control. Still red. Red in control. Red in control. Easy. Watch his back. Watch his back. Easy there.
Could be almost dangerous here, right? Or, I mean, he had both feet in the air.
Go, guys.
Math
Buckle out of that.
holding himself up.
You're off
And
the
out of
mat.
bounds.
You're down, Green.
Tom McMath beat Jason Gilligan from Brookville, District 9, 4-3 in the Northwestern Regional Finals. Jake Stork beat Jason Gilligan from Brookville 10-4 in the quarters here at Hershey.
There's some time remaining in the second period. We are in the championship at 140 pounds.
Well, Stork has a nice bar arm. Whether or not he's going to be able to use it to turn him over is another story.
Keep working. Keep working. Keep working.
The only champ that Schuylkill Valley High School has ever had was Peter Horst back in 1987 at 132 pounds.
Okay.
Sometimes, you know, a lot of wrestlers will use that out-of-bounds area to their advantage, Jim, and it's as much a strategy as the power of this sport.
Red man, get on.
You can't make it look too obvious, though. There is a thing called fleeing the mat. We've talked about that in the past. And,
We've seen that in the past.
Yeah.
Here we go. Reset, Green.
Playing the mat would be me.
yeah, it can't be too obvious. But geez, you know, if you just happen to be kind of close there, it's not a bad idea just to sort of step out of bounds. And Stork is doing all he can just to hang on. He doesn't want to give up that 1 point now. He's only got 15 more seconds to ride him out.
He's in total control right now, at least 4-1. But as we always mention, you're one big move away from you're right back in it or in the lead if you can get some back points strung together here.
Stork from the top position gets that bar arm easily. He's content just to sort of hang out for the last couple seconds.
And we'll go to the third period, money time. Now at the championship match at 140 pounds.
We have 4-1 red, third period. Set, hold, green.
Last year's tournament, we mentioned that Stork came in and placed fifth at 119 pounds. He came in as the South Central Regional Champion. He lost his first round match to Ken Duart from Marion Center, District 6, 4-3. But he survived the consolations, and that is really tough to do, to place fifth.
That's in those consolations. That can be a very unfriendly place to be. It's real tough to get your motor running when you get thrown down into the consolation
It's
track.
like going down into the sin bin down there.
Neutral, neutral.
Stork's got a takedown.
You're down, Green.
If we get a close-up, I feel a scratch or something there. I might be seeing things, but Jake Stork, He's got his head buried right on the back. He is in control right now, 6-1. Tom McMath, Sharpsville just has not really had any opportunity to get anything started or get any move together.
Not at all. He has a lot of trouble getting out. Stork rode him out basically the whole entire second period. Been superior on his feet so far. That accounts for a 7-2 score.
Seven to 2 the score. Jake Stork, 50 seconds away if he can hang on from winning the gold medal here at 140 pounds.
Tom McMath High School, Sharpsville, has never had a state champion.
Let's go to Mark Shuey. Mark?
From along Matt's side here, Jacob Stork looks like he has a lot of energy left. He really does have a lot going for him here in the third period. Picked up 4 points in the first. Now he just got 2 more points. He's in command 9-2.
Keep wrestling, keep working.
He looks like he could go 3 more periods at equal effectiveness. I mean, he is really... He took this wheel early and has stayed in the driver's seat the whole way. 8 seconds to go, and now Tom McMath, it will take
8 seconds left,
a grand slam move right now.
Second caution on green. Relax.
Another caution on McMath would count as a point for Stork.
Not going to really much matter as we count out the match at 140 pounds. And Jake Stork, impressive, 9-2 winner. Gold medal at 140 pounds. He's just dominated.
He absolutely dominated on his feet. Very, very impressive. I thought that Tom McMath was pretty good on his feet, but Jake Stork showed me he could do it too.
There you see of the coaches, Wayne Moore. Again, there are no losers, and you get this far, and you start really Thursday morning. Wednesday, they click off the poundage on you, and everything else is not easy. We're going to go to the medal stand here at 135 pounds. Well, our last 2 matches, we have seen workmanlike, dominant performances. Torrey Tobias, an 8-3 winner over Justin Olano. He's out of northern Lehigh, rather. He's 39-0 now. He's the man standing tallest. Olano to the right of your screen, the runner-up in silver. This young man was impressive at 135 pounds. Didn't exactly light the crowd on fire, but he doesn't care. That's not his style.
Hey, you know, when you come to a tournament like this, Jed, all that matters is that you have more points than the other guy at the end of the match. It doesn't matter how pretty it is or how ugly it is. As long as you got more points, hey, you're moving on, man.
This isn't figure skating, what the Russian judge of the Eastern Bloc. It's called get it done between the lines. This man did today at 135 pounds. Your gold medal winner in impressive fashion, 8-3. Go to the championship now at 145 pounds. From Line Mountain, a junior, District 4, Max Shingara. We'll explain why that name is so familiar to the championship round in AA. He's 38-1, 100 wins, 13 losses in his career. And Gabe Webster, last year's champ at 135 pounds out of Sayre area. He's a senior. He's out of District 4, 33-2 overall. This is a young man that's jumped up in weight class a little bit. That may explain the losses, but I'll tell you what, you look at a match that's been much anticipated here in Chocolatetown. This is one of them at 145.
Max Shingara's brother, Mike Shingara, of course, a 4-time finalist here. He was a 3-time champion, winning in 1995, 96, and 97. He now attends Lock Haven University.
Wrestling with that Kerry Colot, among others, one of the top programs in the country.
And people have been talking about this matchup all day, all tournament.
There are a lot of people that really were hoping that form would hold and that these two guys would come out of the respective areas. Shingara had a close call with Pete Blow, 7-5 in the semifinals. Webster's just cruised throughout the whole thing, winning 13-3, 7-2, and 6-2, and it's never really been in any kind of trouble at all.
And Shingara's match in that semifinal bout with Keith Blows from Northern Lehigh, District 11, score was tied 5-5, but Shingara got a takedown with 23 seconds left in the third period to win 7-5 to make it into the finals.
Opening period here in the matchup at 145 pounds.
Back in 1996, Max Shingara missed the season getting a benign tumor removed from his knee. He did not compete that year.
Well, he's back just 2 years later after that bout, and again, 100 career wins against 13 losses. And this is the kind of guy who's only getting better. He might be the late developer because of what you just talked about medically, and you know, he has really taken his game up. He raised the bar and got here into the state championship at 145 pounds. Webster beginning to make some moves now.
Webster in on a single leg. He's got 2 points.
His ear flap is down.
Headgear.
My time, headgear top.
Headgear. Better term. Well, it looked like an ear flap for me.
My time.
Well, they'll make him put that together. We got 28 seconds to go here in the opening period.
Okay, throw in, Red.
Gabe Webster out to a 2-0 lead. He was impressive a year ago at 135 pounds. What's the tough part about going up in weight, especially 2 different classes like this?
Well, to jump 2 different classes like that, you would hope that his weight gain has been all muscle. If it hasn't, he's got a lot of problems, because I'll tell you what, Max Shingara has seen the weight room more than once or twice.
Well, that's what they preach at Lion Mountain. I mean, they live in there in the off season. But Webster again, you can really sense the tenacity, and I think that's one thing we talked about last year at 135 was just how tenacious Webster is.
Green up.
And I mean, when he feels like he's got any kind of slight advantage, I mean, he stays on you.
Green, you'll choose in a second.
You can see him going for back points against Shingara over there on the far side of the mat. Shingara smart enough to try to roll out of it, but he only did it just for a second for a quick back count, not enough to award any back points or anything, but Webster had him tied up nicely.
Go, Green.
2-0 the score. Gabe Webster with the lead at 145 pounds.
Back in 1997, Shingara came as a Northeastern second-place finisher at 145 pounds. He lost his semifinal match to Joel Delaurier from Burrell, District 7, 1-0. Ended up placing 6th. But he was a little bit out of shape, I thought, and it really showed in his matches. One of the things that has improved this year is his conditioning. He has been on his game and not, like, resting or anything. He's been just basically full tilt all the time, and he never seems to run out of gas. It has really helped him a lot.
Center. Okay, step up. Hold for me.
All right, let's go to Mark Shuey. Mark?
I was talking to a couple of wrestling fans earlier before this match, and they said they think that Max Shingara has better moves on the mat than Big Brother Mike. But they quickly pointed out, don't tell Mike they said that. But, yeah, can you imagine the living room scraps between these Shingara boys when they were growing up? Max and Mike, both great wrestlers here from Lion Mountain. Max looking to give Lion Mountain their 6th state title in school history.
What's that, portable furniture they probably needed or whatever? Could you just imagine that? They know we're only kidding up there at Lion Mountain. Boy, District 4, Jim, at least in the AA half of the draw, it has just been most impressive.
Yeah, District 4 really does well. They really do. They're the wrestlers just do so well here at Hershey, and they are just primed and focused and ready for action.
And that comes, I think, with a real tough regular season. You talk, one thing we've talked about over the years, you know, you look at a guy like Max Shingara, yeah, he's wrestled his older brothers at Lockhaven, but when you get strong, deep-type programs like a Lion Mountain or, for instance, where Webster is at Sayre area, sometimes practice is tougher than the meets.
Oh, yeah.
And that only makes you better when you get to money time here in Hershey. 2-1 the score. It's anybody's game right now in the second period.
We talked about how in good shape Max Shingara is, but Gabe Webster also does not run out of gas. These two will push each other, and I mentioned that Northeastern Regional Final went 14-10 in favor of Shingara.
Don't think that isn't on their mind when they sleep on that, knowing they're going to meet again. Third period.
At last year's tournament, Webster entered the tournament as the Northeastern Regional Champion at 135 pounds. He beat Corey DeBias from Northern Lehigh, District 11, 3-1 in overtime for the state title.
Here we go to the third period. As we mentioned, anybody's game, it's 2-1. Gabe Webster by 1. Now by 2 as he goes right to the neutral position, gave up the point.
And Shingara knew that he was going to get out anyway, so he figured he may as well just give himself a little more time to try to take him down and just let him up.
Is there a quickness advantage for Shingara here, or is it too close to call?
I don't think so. I think Webster's equally fast.
Footwork. These two guys have really worn each other out, just locking up like that. They've really used a lot of energy. Here's Webster. He's got a...
Shingara trying to lift him up and over, but Webster is just in too tight, too deep, and he can't do it.
Got the 2-point takedown to take a 5-1 lead. There's your time remaining. There's Max Shingara, head buried in that mat. Webster holding on, looking to strike gold again. Last year at 135. Shingara, though, almost got a turn.
Webster with a cross-body ride. Shingara's trying to scoot around. He could get 2 points for a reversal here.
There it is. He's right back in it now. It's 5-3. Here's where those extra weightlifting sessions came into play right there. A big 2 points. It's on the table now with 45 seconds to go.
Back in center. Let's go, get down, Rick.
Gold medal match at 145. Max Shingara. Off your screen to the left, going in there is Gabe Webster from Sayre area, a senior. Both out of District 4. They've read about each other. They've been talked about in their own neighborhood.
And with just 42 seconds left, surprised Shingara doesn't try to just let him up and take him down.
Shingara almost got it turned around. Max Shingara trailing by 2. Does he get him turned around? Watch Benson try to fight his way out of bounds, or at least subtly get there and got to the line. Stops the clock. 50 seconds to go.
20 seconds left. Webster knows that the only way he's going to get beat is if he gets turned over on his back.
Red, are you getting off an optimal start? Optimal start, Dave. Just feels in.
Shingara's just going to let him up now. 6-3.
Shingara's only hope is to take him down to his back and get not only a 2-point takedown, but some near-fall points as well.
Webster and Webster stalling point.
Second warning against Webster with only 7 seconds left. A takedown would tie this match.
Shingara going to try and get that leg in there. Webster holding on, and got it done. It's 6-4 and wins it out. Pretty good matchup. Great third period. Gabe Webster wins it 6-4 and strikes gold at 145. Oh, there's nothing like this sport, Jim, when it's on the table and only a takedown away from tying it or going in front. And that seems to get the crowd nice and edgy. Adds a little impact to things.
After that Northeastern Regional loss last year, Gabe Webster, he did what it takes. 6-4. Max Shingara really couldn't mount an effective offense at all.
Award ceremony at 140 pounds. Jake Stork, Schuylkill Valley, 9-2. Was never threatened there, Jim.
Never threatened, never in trouble. Clearly dominant on his feet. He becomes Schuylkill Valley's second state champion at 140 pounds. Jake Stork.
Take you down the stretch, starting with 152 pounds. After this timeout, you're watching the AA Championship, the Parade of Champions High School Wrestling. PIAA style. Back in Hershey after this.
This is WPSX-TV, Channel 3, with studios at the University Park campus.
Go to 152 pounds. Jeremy Reitz, he is a District 9 junior, Brookville. He is in the green anklet. Nevada Walker, he is a senior, District 10 at a Commodore Parish. This will be a good one. Nevada Walker, 36-2. Reitz at 29-5. And Walker has been in a lot of matches. Overall, 130 wins, 15 losses.
How can you argue with that, Jed? 130 wins and 15 losses. What a career. Nevada Walker, of course, a two-time finalist. Actually, well, three-time finalist, two-time runner-up. He placed second in the state at 145 pounds last year. He lost to Joe Delaurier from Burrell, District 7, 4-3 in that finals, but he entered that tournament unbeaten. This year, Nevada Walker has 2 losses. Those losses came during the dual meet season.
Both wrestlers still kind of mapping out strategy on their feet. Walker's kind of got that rainbow stripe on his singlet, solid blue for Jeremy Reitz at 152 pounds.
Nevada Walker's part of our all-name team, isn't he, Ken?
Oh, you got to love a name like Nevada Walker. It's just, I don't think you can make up a name better than that for a sports guy.
Inside. Second one, there you go. Good job.
These two wrestlers wrestled each other in the Northwestern Regional Finals. Walker won that one 3-2.
Keep the action, gentlemen. Doing great.
Tell you what, Jeremy Reitz has been most impressive in this particular tournament.
Stay center now.
This
Stay
is
center.
You talk about saving your best for last. This guy caught fire when he hit Hershey. He has not been threatened at all.
He pinned his way into the finals with a semifinal bout. 1 minute and 59 seconds over Nick Crick from Central, who everybody thought was pretty darn good. He was undefeated himself until he ran into Jeremy Reitz from Brookville, District 9.
Walker rubbed out Jesse Martinez from Hanover area, 13-4 in his semifinal match. Still no scores. We tick out the final sand in period number 1 here. Walker out of bounds. 1 second to go. Let's go to Mark Shuey. Sometimes when we keep talking about some of the officials that are working here, again, the merit system, we're seeing the best officials the state has to offer as well. They're blowing the whistle and our arbiters here. Mark?
No question about it. The officials earned their way here to Hershey as well, and we're watching one of the best. Antonio Phillips, he's from the Allentown area, District 11, so he's certainly seen some great wrestling over his 15-year officiating career. He's working his second state tournament for the PIAA.
He probably has some courage doing some of those venues up there in District 11. Jimmy, I'll tell you.
It's interesting to note, Jed, I was talking with Dr. John Hosage, who is the head rules interpreter. He is in charge of organizing the referees for this tournament. One of the things that he mentioned to me is he will not let an official from any of the districts that are in the match officiate. He wants the referees to be totally unfamiliar with the wrestlers, the records, everything.
I think that's a great idea, a fabulous idea, honest. I mean, there could be no complaining then.
Exactly.
Total neutrality. And you got a chance to see exactly what an official can do. There's a big move right here by Reitz.
Reitz in with a double leg takedown right on the edge of the mat.
We saw an example of that illustrated by the fact the official steps right in when you get these guys flying around, picking each other up, and he saves them from going off into the hard area off the mat.
Stay busy, stay busy.
Hey, this Reitz is impressive.
He is impressive.
Coffee quick to the move that time, and I mean, he got Walker turned over quick, stamped him down.
Right in deep on that double leg. Nothing that Walker could do, and he knew it.
District 9. Reed's the only District 9 finalist here in the AA Parade of Champions. They whip out of bounds again.
In last year's tournament, Jeremy Reeds from Brookville, District 9, he lost his first round match to Max Shingara 6-3 and did not place in that
Both men, get
tournament.
it going, both men.
Brookville's last state champion was back in 1993. Chuck Yale at 145. He pinned all of his opponents and won the outstanding wrestler of the tournament. Stalling on the top.
Let's go. You're down. You're down.
It could loom large. I mean,
You're down.
3-0 right
Get
now.
This is early
on
on in
top.
the match. Reeds called for stalling. He's just riding Walker out.
That's your time
Good ride,
remaining here in
Gordon.
this
Get it
second
going.
period. Championship at 152 pounds.
Everyone
Nevada
hold
Walker
the
on the
good
bottom.
job. Good
Jeremy
job.
Reeds out of Brookville, a junior, on the top. Hey, well, Walker has spent a lot of time bumping and grinding out of the bottom position there.
You're
So
down.
he's saying, all right, I'm going to get down here. I'm ready to score now. Ready to climb back into it.
Walker really has not been tested so far in the tournament. I'll tell you what, he's got his hands full with Jeremy Reeds from Brookville.
Well, a sense of frustration in his face on that. He's like ready to get turned around, then boom, back down he goes. Reeds is so strong in the upper body.
He has clearly got Walker frustrated.
And I mean, he rolls through his move so impressively as they count out the second period of play. Really, when you think about the way Reeds has dominated, I think Walker should feel fortunate he's only down 3 heading into the final period. I mean, Reeds has carried the action so far in the opening
Good job,
two
top
periods.
man.
He really
Keep
has.
going.
Walker in the down position. Of course, Reeds rode him out most of the second period.
National. Turn.
Come out there. It'll be a 1 point for Nevada Walker.
And you can see when Walker
center, now
stood
we
up
got it going.
after the optional start, referee did not award the point until he turned and
block
faced
is
his
green.
opponent. Nice lateral drop out of bounds, unfortunately.
Crowd reacting there.
Yeah, I'll throw the defending state runner-up out of bounds.
Not too much problem at all. There's that official again. Mark, I'll tell you what, he's pretty good at the kicks there. We might as well put a cage behind him.
Yeah, we're looking at Antonio Phillips. He's very quick, and that is one of the referee's main jobs when refereeing a wrestling match, and that is to protect the wrestlers that they don't go off the mat and injure themselves here on the hard surface beyond the mat.
Almost a takedown awarded to Walker right on the edge of the mat. We'll talk a minute about the out of bounds. If one supporting point of each wrestler is out of bounds, then the wrestling should be stopped.
Down the stretch we go, and it's a 2-point game, and this is where the crowd really gets involved here, Jim.
Walker gets a takedown. It's all tied up.
He's got
Walker's in
something.
nicely.
He's in with something here. He's got 2. We're tied at 3. So you can see the determination. You begin to sense a momentum swing now in favor of Walker. Reeds dominated the opening 2 periods. Now Walker says, all right, it's winning time. Let's get it done.
Now, this is where Walker's finals experience really comes into play. He's been here twice before, and he knows how to act.
Obviously confident of that by giving out the 1 point on the escape. Just gave it up. I want on my feet. That's where I feel I can score the best.
Let's go.
And give him credit. He's in this thing to win. He's not looking for a tie. Setting Reeds up. He knows he's got to get the takedown.
Reeds got a leg in. Walker struggling and bounces out of points. They gave him the 2 points.
2-point takedown.
That's huge right there. That increases his lead to 6-3. That changes strategy a little bit now. Now you got to put him on his back to really be able to ring up a victory now if you're Nevada Walker. That's a big move. Walker with a reverse. Good action here, Jim, at 152. Down the stretch we go. Fly out of bounds. The crowd beginning to climb into this fray now.
Got the reverse to get those 2 points. Then he quick let Reeds up. Make it 7-5. Another takedown, and we're all tied up. We got 30 seconds left.
Jeremy Reeds, our junior out of Brookville. Nevada Walker, been there, done that out of Commodore Perry, a senior. They lock horns like two rams center stage. Crowd, nervous energy now. Walker skips out of bounds.
Gotta work. Let's go.
7-5. Jeremy Reitz by 2. 17 seconds left.
Walker in on a double leg. He may run out of real estate. Jim, we were talking about the out-of-bounds line earlier. If one wrestler is totally out of bounds and one wrestler is totally inbounds, meaning the supporting points, the wrestling should continue. On the line, on the out-of-bounds line is over the out-of-bounds line.
He's inbounds. Stalling point. He got it.
We talked about that stalling point early on. He got warned again that stalling point for
Let's go.
Nevada Walker and the two-point takedown with 4 seconds left.
Well, hold that and show it to you, Jim. It's a total illustration of what you just said. Walker riding, he wins it. What a comeback.
Unbelievable.
Good stuff there, 8-4. There wasn't a winner there was a survivor. Give Reitz a lot of credit. The match of the day in AA. Let's see if we can find out how this happened for Nevada Walker before we go to the medal ceremony. The extension of the mat, Jim, and it was a perfect illustration for the winning takedown and the 2 points that he needed to get the job done.
Reitz got called for stalling. That made it 7-6. Walker right on the edge of the mat with an outside leg trip. Right there it is. You can see Walker's inbounds totally. That means 2 points. There they are. That makes it. You got it. You got a champion, Nevada Walker.
And that official right there, I mean, had the entire real estate covered. Great stuff. Final of 8-7, Nevada Walker. Well, that's championship wrestling at its best right there. Let's go to the medal stand now and have a look at the medal ceremony at 145 pounds. Gabe Webster held off Max Shingara, 6'4", put a late move together and strikes gold again. Last year, 135. This time, 2 up to 145.
Gabe Webster avenging his regional finals loss to Max Shingara, 6-4. Gabe Webster, 2-time state champion from Sayre Area High School.
Shingara, nothing to feel ashamed about at all. Again, I know the disappointment. Well, this is a young man with a paparazzi as well. They do love classmates come down and take pictures, which I think is kind of a great tradition here as you get a look. It's not often you get there, and when you do, you have to record the moment in time. There he is, the champ at 145, Gabe Webster out of Sayre area. Go to 160 pounds. Rick Hogue, sophomore out of Cochranton. He's 33-3 overall. Ed Longstreth is his head coach. Josh Hughes, senior Pine Grove area, District 11, 39-0.
Josh Hughes in the maroon singlet with the green anklet. Rick Hogue in the red singlet with the red anklet. And these guys are a house of fire with a takedown for Hughes and a quick reversal for Hogue.
Quick 2-2 game. That 152 just woke up this crowd. 160 pounds. Oh, Rick Hogue, only a sophomore, District 10. Josh Hughes out of the District 11 stable. And there are many in this tournament's history. Senior out of Pine Grove area. There's another great wrestling school. Steve D'Onofrio, 39-0, 123 victories and 20 defeats in his career. Think about that dual meet season in District 11 with Northampton and Nazareth and some of those others in AAA. They're AA today. What about the run here for both of these guys, Jim? Has there been something intriguing to know?
Hughes has done well, but he hasn't been all that impressive. He won his quarterfinal bout over Corey Shaw from Chartiers Houston High School, District 7, 3-2, and only won 4-2 over Mike Greenberg from Canton, District 4, to make it into the finals. And again, these guys are trading points back and forth, 4-4.
Reversals and takedowns to get us to the 4-4 count. There's your time remaining in the opening period at 160.
Rick Hogue entered the tournament as a Northwestern Regional Champion. A record of 30-3. His losses are to 2 AAA kids and a default from Kevin Brown, Jamestown, District 10.
started out, as you mentioned, like a house of fire, and they seem kind of wear each other out. You sense the needle flickering a little bit.
Hughes took fourth at 140 pounds at last year's state championships. He entered that tournament as the Southeastern Regional Champion. He lost in the quarterfinals to Joe Charlton from Fort Worth, District 10. As I mentioned, he held on to place fourth at 140. 1 point neutral awarded to Hughes.
So that makes it 5-4 at the break after the first period. Let's go to Mark Shuey and see what Mark has for us over there, Mark.
Now Josh Hughes at 39-0. He's looking to give Pine Grove the school's 4th state title. Rick Hope, he's just a sophomore, but 108 wins already. So a couple of guys who have more than 100 victories here tangling for the 160-pound PIAA state wrestling title.
You ever miss a meet if you got 100 victories by your sophomore season? This guy must be flying out of state to get some stuff done.
Pine Grove has just an impressive tournament schedule. I know that they're involved at the Cedar Cliff Dual Meet Tournament held at Cedar Cliff High School here at District 3.
Oh, trying to ride through that move, and again, great balance by Josh Hughes, a senior, mentioned Pine Grove area.
Injury time, Red.
They'll start the injury clock. We'll refamiliarize everybody. These are 2 minutes here in this particular situation. A blood is a 5, right?
This is a non-blood related injury, so it's 2 minutes on the clock. It will flash the number 4, which of course is Hoag's score. He's the one that's injured. And that minute and 45, 44 that you see taking off, that is the 2 minute of injury time that he has started with. He's down to 1 minute and 36 seconds left. The nice thing about this particular scoreboard is that the coaches get a chance to see exactly where they're at all the time.
Second period, it's 1 minute and 25 to go. But 374 that I think some of our viewers saw, that's the match number, in case anybody was curious. Rick Hoag.
Hughes did a nice job of getting out of that. Almost got himself in a lot of trouble.
Red 1, neutral.
The fans, they didn't like it. Hope spent a little bit of time on his back. Referee didn't feel like it warranted back points.
There you see, doesn't look like much on TV, but you trust me, they are shoulder to shoulder and pushing there.
Last state champion for Pine Grove back in 1995 at 130 pounds. Ted Kemmerling won that title.
I think the ankle came off. Two guys are just kind of in a holding pattern right now as we play out the middle period.
Real nice duck under by Hoag.
Hoag's going to get 2 points there.
Takes Hughes to the mat. Just a couple of seconds left. That was a beautiful duck under.
Time remaining in the second period, counting out. Should be a action-packed final 2 minutes to the gold medal here at 160. Hoag in that solid red singlet, leading 7-5. Big 2 points to get. Let's go to Mark Shuey. Mark, what do you got for us?
Well, Rick Hoag came back nicely from that injury, which was a poke in the eye. He was lying stomach on his mat and came over with the cross face. He got poked in the eye. That's when he called timeout immediately, and that's what the injury timeout was for Rick Hoag. But since then, he's come back nicely and wrestled very effectively. Rick Hoag with the lead, 7-6.
Watching the AA championships, the parade of champions here at the Hershey Park Arena.
Hoag in with a nice double leg. Not much Hughes could do to defense against that.
Well, he just pushed right through on that, didn't he? And he takes a commanding 9-6 lead now. Not commanding, but it is 3.
Hughes is not done yet. The switch to go out of bounds. Referee awards 1 point for an escape.
Little bounce at Hughes.
Yeah, you get the impression that Hughes' stamina is outstanding.
He might be the fresher of the two. He's looking to turn Hogue over now. He's down by 2 now. He has plenty of time. Stalemate. He'll do it again and then stand position. You get the feeling Hogue is really gasping right now.
And he's definitely more tired of the two wrestlers.
Here we go.
Referee very patient with him, as a matter of fact, while he got his headgear on. Hogue? Well,
there we go. He must have heard us, Jet.
they must have. He suckered me into that in a big way. Then, boom, a bolt of energy and a 2-point move, and it's now 11-7. Both coaches are working hard on the bench. There you see some of the sellout crowd here at Hershey. And the empty chair you see there getting something to eat. They're 4 deep around the rail here. Neutral, that makes it 11-8. He's still alive. That means Josh Hughes. Out of bounds they go now. Mark, what do you have?
Three has seen a lot of wrestling matches over the years. Elvis Klein of the District 1. He's been at this for 30 years. He's from Media, Pennsylvania, and he could probably appreciate the excellent pictures and audio coming from the Hershey Park Arena today. His profession is he's a communications consultant for the sponsor.
Yeah, he's communicating with these two. There's your time remaining in the match at 160 pounds.
Ed, you're stalling. You're backing out.
And he's got a warning now.
Rick Hogue from Conkerton has been warned for stalling, 11-8. And you can see Hughes, he's really going after it. And Hogue is definitely backing away.
Hogue just holding. There's your time remaining. Hogue on the bottom there in the all red. You want to get up and make a dangerous move. Oh, there it is. That should do it. That's a gold-winning move right there for Rick Hogue. 2 points, wins it 13-8. Fist into the air. He wins by 5. Nice match for Hogue, and then you'll see the joy of victory. Always great showing the sportsmanship, but then you go back to the coach and I go, oh my goodness, 5 months, it's finally over, and I got a gold medal now. Yes, and I'm pleased about things.
Josh Hughes undefeated from Pine Grove area. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. Rick Hogue from Conkerton, District 10. Outstanding.
There he is. Gold medal run, trot into the stands. There is no better feeling. I've talked to a lot of gold medalists over the years, and they go, oh, man, just to get out of Thursday and survive. And there's a moment to remember right there with his father.
Now on the award stand.
Go to the award stand. This is this incredible matchup at 152 with Nevada Walker at the end, winning at 8-7. Stayed on the mat just in time. You know the old saying, 2 feet down in football. This is a man who got his knee in the right place and kept his move alive.
Boy, he was
pulled it out of the fire, 8-7.
It was smoking when he pulled it out too, Jet. I'll tell you what, you don't want to wait till the last minute, but that's exactly what Nevada Walker did, eking it out, 8-7.
There he is, a big smile. He's been a runner-up so much, and you know he finally gets through. On the all-name team here at Hershey this week. It's his 3rd straight year, I think, in our all-name team with a name like Nevada Walker. All right, let's set the table now. There you see the pictures being taken. Classmates, friends, neighbors, whoever's close. And that's not just for the winner either. That's for everybody that makes it up there. We don't want to forget everybody that makes the 5th or 6th place or even the 3rd place. The 171, Steve Sinkovitz. He's out of Mount Carmel, Jr. District 4, John Paxton. Sinkovich plays for Whitey Williams in the football team at 35-1. That's 171. What are we looking at here?
Well, one of the things to notice quickly, Paxton from Berlin Brothers Valley in the blue and white uniform wearing the green anklet is probably about a foot taller than Steve Sinkovich is.
Sinkovich is a defensive tackle, offensive lineman, and a fullback. Does a little of this, a little of that. Has played on a state champion at Mount Carmel 2 years ago. And here he is. One of the great athletic programs up there. Again, another hammer out of District 4. What a year they have had, as we have talked about in this particular tournament. District 5, John Paxton.
Optimal start,
He's
bottom.
one of three District 5 wrestlers. Justin Ziegler, who lost in overtime at 130. We'll see the 275 Josh Baker out of Bedford later.
Court middle.
Sinkovich lost in the Northeastern Regional Finals last year to Jason Swingman from Myers High School, District 2, 8-4. But he beat him in the Northeastern Regionals Finals this year. Paxton from Berlin Brothers Valley, pin Schlingman, make it into the finals in 1 minute and 18 seconds.
Sinkovich was a point machine in his semifinal round win over Steve Spicer, 15-7. Sinkovich, of course, with his back turned to you there in the red singlet with those Red Tornadoes. Mark, we saw him a couple of years ago, that great Red Tornadoes team that won a state championship with Brett Beach, Joe Costello and gang in boys AA, and he knows what it's like to have his feet in the pressure fire here.
Yeah, he's one of those kids that the coaches say no matter what you ask him to do on the football field, he's willing to do it. As you said, he plays multiple positions, and right here he translates his athletic skill to the wrestling match as well. He's wrestling for the 171-pound state title here at the Hershey Park Arena, and he's up 4-1.
Take notice of these two, and they do stand up together. Paxton is about a foot taller than Sinkovich.
Face me, son.
Sinkovich is not a small guy either. He's about 6'1". I mean, I think Paxton's one of the tallest guys I've seen in this tournament in years.
Well, in the Parade of Champions, I took notice he was about the tallest guy out there.
And they count out period number 1.
Choice, green. Green to first. Choice, red. Red, neutral, second period. Neutral.
Championship at 171 pounds.
Sinkovich placed second at 171 pounds in last year's tournament.
With a taller wrestler, I didn't mean to interrupt your thought process there. What makes them so unique or tough to score against?
In there.
Primarily
the reach.
The reach is because you have the guy gets in, gets a hold of a leg, you can reach over around behind the other guy, pull on an ankle, hang on, that sort of thing. You can see Sinkovich in on a nice single leg there.
Got 2 points out of it. Again, that point that you made back in the big matchup at 152 pounds. One can be out of bounds as long as the other wrestler is in, and you are the man making the move. The move stays alive.
Neutral.
Neutral again.
When they're on their feet, it's supporting points are the feet. If they happen to be, wrestler happens to be on his back, it is his shoulder blades that are considered as supporting points.
I'll tell you, Paxton's one of the tallest wrestlers I've seen in this tournament in recent years. He must be 6'5", 6'6". Look at this, Sinkovich. Want to avoid a dangerous move there. He comes through, he could score points, didn't get it done. Did get 2 points out of it. He almost rung up some back points, and now Sinkovich to the ground. Paxton's working there.
Paxton's finally in the top position. That is one place that he does excel at. I mentioned that he pinned Jason Schlingman from Myers, District 2, in the semifinal bout in the first period. He caught him in a spread eagle and flattened him in 1 minute and 18 seconds.
You're warning the bottom, son.
The stall warning against Sinkovich, Mount Carmel. John Paxton working up at a Berlin Brothers Valley, District 5. He's a junior, as is Sinkovich.
Sinkovich was warned for stalling in his quarterfinals match against Jared Shippey from Chestnut Ridge, District 5. Penalized for stalling. He got tired, and he used most of his injury time, Jed, in that match.
Trying to get a lock and a bar arm through there is Paxton. Final seconds ticking out here in the second period. Sinkovich in control, and championship at 171, leading 8-4 as we make the turn to the final period.
Green.
Kind of interesting headgear. It's kind of got that
Anytime. Run a red injury clock. Red injury clock.
You can see him taking some injury time. I mentioned that he did take a fair amount of injury time in that quarterfinal bout. He ended up winning that match against Shippey from Chestnut Ridge, 12-9.
The double-weight will be at 9 o'clock, triple-weight at 1 o'clock. And as a reminder, you can order a 1998 PIAA
Mark shooting. Mark, what do you have for us over there?
Well, Steve Sinkovich of Mount Carmel is a tremendously coachable kid. And that's very evident here at Matt's side. Each and every time Mount Carmel head coach Greg Halliday would shout out instructions, Sinkovich would promptly try to execute those instructions. And he's currently up 8-4 in the third period of this match.
Tell me when you're ready, son, when you're ready.
8-4, Sinkovich taking his injury time.
Yeah, you're still on the time. You're still on the clock.
Continues to go. It's down to about a minute to go.
Sinkovich comfortable, just sort of leisurely taking his injury time. He figures, hey, I got 2 minutes. I'm going to use all of it.
He didn't seem to be in any kind of hurry.
Certainly not.
He'll go from the bottom position.
Face on top.
Paxton can score points from the top position pretty well. He's long. His long body gives him advantage from the standpoint of throwing legs in. He's got a double grapevine in.
Let him use it.
He has really been powerful from this position, scoring a lot of back points.
Down red.
Takes him a while to unwind there.
Stay on top.
8-4, Steve Sinkovich out of Mount Carmel. In front, District 4.
Gotta work. Gotta work.
Remember, Sinkovich has been warned.
Gotta work.
If you hear the referee, tell him to make it happen.
Still mate. Down red. Go.
Still plenty of time for Paxton to get some moves together and get back into the fray. Down 4 at 8-4.
Paxton is definitely in this. It's 8-4. Sinkovich looks tired. He's been warned for stalling. And there's a minute and 22 seconds left in the final period.
That red. Top man.
He almost turned him over there. That would have been huge.
Gotta work. Gotta work, Autumn. Gotta work.
You can see Paxton digging his elbow into it. There's another warning. And a point for Paxton. Makes it 8-5. Paxton is doing everything that he can to turn Sinkovich over.
Big stalemate call there with 38 seconds to go.
Optimal start, bottom. Optimal start. Top man.
Paxton's coach, Rick Lawson, saying give up a point. Big 2 points there for Sinkovich, who's beginning to turn it up now in command.
The difference is definitely that Sinkovich has just dominated on his feet.
11-5, as you can see there. There's some time remaining in the championship match at 171.
Optimal start, bottom.
Both of these wrestlers are only juniors, so they will be back next year.
Sinkovich just riding it out, Jim. He's in good shape now, counting it down.
Oh, he's definitely in fine shape.
He's going to win it now. It's becoming more and more apparent. Steve Sinkovich, Mount Carmel state champion, 171 pounds. 11-6. His head coach, Greg Halliday, very excited. That's the first winner we've seen out of that corner all day, if you can believe that. If you believe in superstitions.
On the award stand on 160 pounds, place winner in sixth place.
Let's go to the medal ceremony now at 160 pounds. Rick Hogue, dominant. Looked tired, Jim, and then found some kind of extra gear in that third period. Got a couple of moves together, roars home and leaves Josh Hughes in the rearview mirror and wins by 5 and the gold at 160 there.
And Josh Hughes came to the tournament undefeated, but he did not win that final match. Rick Hogue from Concorton, District 10, he's our champion at 160 pounds.
And our 160-pound champion, winner by decision, score 13-8 from Concorton, Rick Hogue.
Go to 189 pounds out of Sharon, Pennsylvania. Senior, District 10, Eric Mosser. 35-0. Dave Ciopri is his head coach. He's 91-14 overall. Upper Dolphins, Jeff Urey. He is in the red anklet. Mosser's in the green. Urey, a senior, District 3, the only District 3 finalist to, second District 3 finalist rather to make it, and 34-0.
That sort of speaks for itself, Jed. He is the defending state champion.
Yeah. No need to overhype two undefeated deal here at 189.
No, not at all. One of the things that Jeff Ure is so good at is he stays in good position. Nice duck under to a double leg right there. 2-point takedown for Jeff Ure.
You say he's tough to score against as well, right, Jim?
Extremely difficult to score against.
He's kind of like a Teflon man, isn't he, in the upper body there as far as bouncing off of him, and you really just can't get any handle on him.
He wrestled against Mark Thatcher from Wilson High School, District 11, in his semifinal bout. I thought that Thatcher was going to give him a tough time. Ure won that match 3-1, but he was never in trouble. Thatcher never got an offense going at all. Ure totally frustrated him. I was impressed.
Also rubbed out Brian Guzik of South Park, District 11, at a fall of 339 in his semifinal round match to make the gold medal round.
He had a tough time of it, though, in his quarterfinal match against Derek Tipton from Claysburg-Kimmel, District 6, winning that bout only 1-0.
Calling a stalemate. 52 seconds left here in the opening period at a championship match at 189. Heavies are next.
You mentioned that Jeff Ure is a returning state champion at 189 pounds, the first state champion from Upper Dauphin High School, District 3. He won his 1997 championship on a controversial takedown at the edge of the mat. He won that match 6-4 over 52. Sean Weaver, Bald Eagle Nittany, District 6.
Optional start.
Just left Mauser up and gets up points 2-1.
I'll tell you how tough Ure is to score against, Jed. Last year, the only points given up in his first 25 bouts were escapes.
Which he allowed.
Yeah.
Which he sanctioned. He's a rising baseball star. There's something about District 3 in the central part of the state, and we'll get to Mark Shuey between the first and second period on that. Going to Old Dominion, as you were telling me, on a baseball scholarship. This would be a big guy to stare down at the dish with a bat in his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Ure with his back to you on Upper Dauphin, District 3. Jim told you, defending state champ a year ago in the same weight class.
Masseur from Sharon, District 10, came to the tournament last year. He lost in the quarterfinals to Sean Weaver from Bald Eagle Nittany, District 6, who ended up losing to Ure, finishing second in the state finals.
go to Mark Shue. It's kind of interesting. Baseball is not just a secondary sport to many. Jeff, you're going to hold dominion of a baseball scholarship, but the game of baseball very big in District 3, Mark.
Yeah, Jeff Ure is a multi-talented athlete, and baseball is actually his favorite sport. And why not? You know, after butting heads with guys like these in the 189-pound class and not eating Big Macs or anything, hey, a little pitch and catch on a nice summer day. What's not to like, huh?
And at 189 pounds. Interesting thing about Mauser, where he's from. Sharon, right on the border there, near Ohio, northeast of Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio, and up near Cleveland as well. And he's crisscrossed over the state lines to wrestle pretty good people, too, at St. Edwards and St. Ignatius and the like in Youngstown. Really, northeast Ohio in that quadrant, probably the only area of the Buckeye State that you could say would be on even terms with Pennsylvania's depth.
Ohio has some fabulous high school wrestling. There's no doubt about it. In fact, one of the better recruiting states is definitely Ohio, and a lot of college recruiters from the big schools like Iowa, Oklahoma State, that's where they get that gold mine from.
But there isn't a major college coach in the country that does not make its way through Pennsylvania at one point.
Absolutely. I've seen more than a few here at this tournament, that's for sure. A year has been worn for stalling.
You just slow behind him.
Comes up big in what we expect to be a real wire job. There you see some of the Sharon contingent that's here. Ironic, both teams same colors, orange and black. Eric Mauser, he's a senior. Also with an escape point.
2-2.
That stall becomes even more magnified as we get later into the match. That puts points on the board.
I don't think that year's been worn for stalling yet this tournament. That is a first, and it is early on, Jed. You're exactly right.
Match 376. It just means the championship at 189 pounds.
Improve, man, improve.
When he's saying improve, obviously the officials kind of want to see some action.
He wants to see a little action, and I'll tell you what, it wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibilities for a double stall warning to be issued.
Ure can still score from there, both knees, and then he steps out of bounds, got the 2 points.
You can see Ure's feet inbounds. In that kind of a position, his feet are considered his supporting points. Both of his feet were in bounds. His opponent was totally out of bounds. The wrestling should continue, and that takedown counts.
This 189-pound match. Bruce Hasselrig is in his 28th year as a career wrestling official. He has worked 16 previous state wrestling tournaments, so he's seen just about everything. He's from Johnstown. Bruce Hasselrig, one of the best in the state.
Red, you have a warning stall.
And he gets right in there. You know exactly where you stand, as we talked about from time to time. Okay, top, okay, bottom. You're on defense.
Yeah.
You score, you're time.
Reminding him that he's been warned for stalling. That stuff's great stuff.
And you say the wrestlers really like that. I know you say you always liked an animated official who would get in there and let you know exactly what's going on. Because let's face it, the only thing you're looking there is PIAA for muscular steel.
Oh, yeah.
Work.
Or the back of somebody's shirt for the most part, or neck. Boy, Malter's really working in there. Stalemate. Jeff Ure just kind of hanging in there.
Mr. has that double grapevine on. Here, not an awful lot that Ure can do.
He'll work on his ring finger a little, but he had those fingers taped. That's one thing we should mention here, Jim. When you get this far into the state, let's talk about it. You're in March. Something's not right. Something's big here. Something's not feeling right here. I mean,
just from all the practices and all the dual meets and all the tournaments, all that mixed together, your body just takes a beating. There's no doubt that you got a sore knee, you got a bent finger, you got all kinds of things. Bumps, bruises,
right, you know.
everything. You got a couple of, there's some teeth missing off the cogs.
Cut. Red, you're down. Again, stalling across your points, Red.
of course, the mental type of discipline that it takes to make weight week in, week out throughout the course of the season.
And both of these wrestlers are big 89-pounders.
Get off the throat.
Off the throat, he's saying. I mean, they look for every dangerous move.
Easy underneath.
These officials are just fabulous. I mean, they get right in there and look for everything.
Right in there.
It's a safe match.
Okay, top man.
And as you mentioned, the total neutrality, there can be no controversy or any kind of allegiance here. I'll tell you what, Eric Moss is certainly trying to get some points done. We're in the third period. That's the time remaining. Jeff Yor leads by 2, 4-2. If they put it up for us at 189. Got that foot going there, the ankle.
You're good.
Any
You're good.
advantage now.
You're good.
Twist something here. It's kind of like turning a key in a door, isn't it, Jim?
Yours got a hold of that toe, so that the opponent can't put it in and get that double grapevine in. You can hear the referee saying, it's okay, it's okay.
Stalemate. 40 seconds to go. This official wants
You
to see some
continue to put the legs in, you create it. I said, you continue to put the legs in, you create it. You get what you got. We're ready?
I love that
All right,
stuff,
Kyle.
Jed.
Get off the throat.
Eric Mosser, senior out of Sharon, trailing by 2. And now the sense of urgency to get... Are you aware of time right now?
Oh, definitely. Yours definitely. He's probably counting the seconds off in his head.
Improve. Watch your shoulder.
Jeff Yor. Well, they got that foot wrapped around another stalemate.
Yours doing the right thing. He grabs that toe, which sort of neutralizes some of the leverage that his opponent can get on him. He is not about to get in a position where he's going to be able to give up some back points here.
Go, bottom man. 1 point top, man. Solly bottom, 1 point top.
10 seconds left.
Mosser can't get him turned around. Jeff Yor has won it by 1.
Thank you.
Holding, and finally wins it. 4-3. That was tough on Eric Mosser right there. He kept grabbing, looking for any kind of advantage. 2 warriors right there at 189.
Well, Yor was better on his feet, and that was the difference. Jeff Yor, undefeated all year long, returning state champion, defends his title here at the Hershey Arena.
He wants off. Just another day at the office. Let's go to the medal ceremony now. 171, Steve Sinkovich out of Mount Carmel, 11-6 winner against John Paxton, and we're waiting for Sinkovich to climb up there. Well, he's won gold for team sport in football and now climbs aboard for individual honor. How tall is Paxton? He's the runner-up, and he's still almost as tall as Sinkovich, standing a little higher there.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the tallest wrestlers I've ever seen here. He's a big, big dude.
Steve Sinkovich in Mount Carmel, only a junior. He will be back next year. He's our state champion at 171 pounds.
Part of the growing sports tradition and one of the great sports traditions in our state at Mount Carmel Area High School. Some of the crowd there. Let's go to the heavyweight. Now the big guys go center stage. Josh Snyder, Hershey, senior, District 3, 32-0. Jim Weidman's his head coach. He'll be in the red anklet. Josh Baker, Bedford, District 5, senior as well, 34-3. And I don't know whether they had to extend one of the anklets, I think, to get around one of these big guys. Snyder has been a story, hasn't he?
He certainly has. He has pinned his way so far in the tournament. He has pinned every wrestler that he has faced. And he has been one hot potato. Snyder, undefeated from Hershey, Pennsylvania, District 3. Of course, has been a local favorite here at the arena.
He grew up coming here to the Hershey Park Arena. Now he's center stage as a sellout crowd of 8,400 look on. Opening period at 275. The Double-A Parade of Champions for 1998. been a fabulous tournament in AA, Jim. I mean, we have seen some titanic matchups since this tournament began.
Jed, I mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast that Snyder has gotten some extra practice help from Jeff Walter, a two-time AAA champion from Shikellamy, District 4. Jeff Walter was also an NCAA Division I champ at Wisconsin.
Coming through. Hold on 1 second.
Mark, who's our official here in the heavyweight at 275? I'll let you look that up. Jump in when you got it. Go ahead.
Clem Wondrisco. He's out of District 7, Carnegie, Pennsylvania. He's a 12-year official, and he's working his second tournament for the PIAA. You know, it's interesting, the PIAA State Wrestling Championships moved here to the Hershey Park Arena back in 1979, and right now, Josh Snyder is looking to give Hershey High School their third state wrestling title.
Still scoreless here. Crowd always loves 275, don't they, Jim? There's just some kind of element involved.
Because anything can happen. Once one of these guys gets another guy over on his back, it's lights out.
That'll end it. You talk about Snyder. Rubbed out Tyler Wolever out of Loyalsock at a fall of 37 seconds. Took out Tim Bennett at 3:43. And then Dan Verbley in the semifinals at 4:03. This guy will end the third. If he gets into the third period, it'll be the longest he's been out on the floor.
And that may hurt him. You know, to be honest with you, that may hurt him. But he really has looked strong. Josh Baker from Bedford, District 5, last year came into the tournament as a Southwestern regional champion. He lost his first round to Brian Champlever from Wyalusing, District 4, 4-1, and did not place in last year's tournament.
This year he comes in a third seed out of the Southwest region. Snyder, of course, won the South Central region handily.
He's got a cradle on. Far cradle. This is it. 2, 3. Josh Snyder doing what he does best.
Cameras begin to pop over there with the photographers.
There they have it.
Oh, my goodness. At 149. Wow. How much he can do there. Went 4 for 4. That's impressive. He might just be the wrestler of this tournament after that move.
Boy, you can't argue with that. What a statement that is. 4 for 4. 4 matches, 4 falls. He's a state champion. Josh Snyder, Hershey, Pennsylvania, undefeated. Incredible.
That was at 149. Let's have a look at that again if we can down in the truck. Oh, the incredible emotion that is involved. Jim, he put the move on, and
well, there wasn't anything special, nothing special about it. Just reached over, put a cradle on, rolled him through. You can see where his elbow's positioned. Is positioned nicely so he can lift the head up so that his opponent has to rest basically on his shoulder blades. Referee right there looking at the action. He knows he's going to get it sooner or later. He's got 1 minute and 20 seconds left. There's no way that Baker was getting out of that one.
What a sensational tournament. That comes at 149. They're getting the awards together. There you have a look at the Josh Snyder out of Hershey. His parents, house parents at Milton Hershey. School for the boys and girls over there, nearby in Chocolate Town. Wow. That's a nice little resounding statement in your hometown. Let's go to the awards at 189. Jeff Ure out of Upper Dauphin, back-to-back for District 3. It started with him at 189. He's been impressive. Back-to-back gold medal efforts, Jimmy.
Well, he's not in trouble in any matches, and it wasn't pretty, but it was a 4-3 win, and another state title for Jeff Ure. He finishes the season undefeated. Upper Dauphin, two-time state champion.
Let's go to Mark Shuey, get some closing thoughts from him while they load the medal ceremony for the heavyweights here. And Josh Snyder, of course, with a fall at 149 to get that job done. And there you see everybody taking pictures. And it's not just the winner, it's all the place winners. Obviously, the family is there because this is certainly a very special moment in things. Mark, as you, I see you writing over there and everything else, what are your thoughts? Good parade of champions, I think, at AA this trip.
Oh, the AA bracket was simply great. I mean, you saw some great working man efforts from guys like Corey Tobias at 135 and Jacob Stork at 145. And how about that great comeback from Nevada Smith, who won on a takedown with 4 seconds to go to grab the 152-pound title. And, of course, that titanic 145-pound battle between Max Shingard and now two-time defending state champ Gabe Webster. And, of course, we just saw Josh Snyder's tremendous pin. But it just goes to show that all the sacrifice, all the 6 a.m. 2-mile runs and swearing off the double cheese pizza certainly pays off, because these guys walk away with gold, and, well, they provided tremendous excitement for a sold-out crowd here at the Hershey Park Arena.
Heavyweight champ Josh Snyder. He's got to be the wrestler of this tournament in the AA Parade of Champions. He was impressive, needless to say.
No doubt about it. 4 matches, 4 pins. Josh Snyder from Hershey, Pennsylvania, finishes the season undefeated and is a powerful, powerful statement.
There he is. And, you know, again, I want to emphasize, and I know, Mark, you concur, and everybody with our crew, Jimmy, you got to get here to have a shot. There are no losers. Only one can come up gold, but to think about how rugged this tournament is indeed, just to get here is something said.
Absolutely. These guys wrestle a hard season long, and there are so many different qualifying tournaments to make it this far. Just to be here at Hershey is something special.
Well, it has been another great parade of champions in AA. A lot of thanks to everyone involved in the Hershey Park Arena. For Jim Davis, Mark Shuey, our entire crew here with WITF, Channel 33 in the Harrisburg area, we'd like to thank the Executive Director of the PIAA, Mr. Brad Cashman, Dr. Rob Lombardi, the Associate Executive Director, and, of course, BLE.